scientific paper arguing Assad not responsible for Syria chemical attack shelved after Bellingcat-led backlash. And how what I've just described links into this is by this connecting point. People believe and act upon what they are told without question and without doing their own research to see if what they're being told has any validity. So when they say, and I say people, I mean great numbers of people, not everybody by any means. And so what we've had is these lies in the narrative about Assad unleashing chemical weapons on his own people when it's clearly being done by Western-backed terrorists to blame on Assad and to justify action against Assad. And this is a classic. Of course, this organisation Bellingcat, which is the most obvious front for the cabal. Unidentified issues prompted a prestigious scientific journal to withhold publication of a report challenging the mainstream narrative on a 2017 Syrian chemical attack after citizen investigation outlet Bellingcat objected. I love it. Citizen investigation outlet, like hell it is. It's a front for the cabal. That's why it always takes the cabal narrative, as in this case. Experts warned at the time that responsibility could not be so quickly determined, i.e. they said Assad did it. But that did not stop US President Donald Trump from launching 59 cruise missiles at a Syrian airbase in response. He was widely praised for his swift action, even in the progressive media. Well, absolutely the progressive media, because the last thing they are is liberal. And his usual resistance critics fawning over the display of military might. It's amazing. If you want to unite America, then get the president to bomb someone. They'll all agree. Well, the vast majority will agree on both sides. The hierarchy on both sides would agree, and many of the followers of the hierarchy will agree. A new study disputing the findings of US intelligence, the lies of US intelligence, not the findings, and UN investigators who do what the US tells them, was and Israel, was due to be published in the Princeton University-based Science and Global Security, SGS, but is mysteriously being held back following, quote, an independent internal review of the editorial process, which threw up unidentified issues with the peer review and revision process. It appears that the so-called issues were only discovered after the journal came under a barrage of public criticism for daring to publish an alternative view. In a note on the front page of its website, the journal's editors said questions have to be asked of its decision to publish the report, which prompted the review. The Khan Shaykhun attack and who was behind it has been hotly disputed over the last 2 years, with anyone daring to question the mainstream narrative labelled an Assad apologist. That's the classic. If you question the climate change narrative, you are a climate change denier. You don't care about children. If you question Israel, you're an anti-Semite. Question political correctness, you're a racist. It's so simple what is going on and how it's being done. The story continues, yet the only thing that should matter is whether the report is technically correct. Postol said, this is Theodore Postol, the MIT professor emeritus. Postol said after the journal decided to halt publication, this is a science-based journal, he said, And if there are any technical errors in it, they need to point them out, he said, adding the criticisms are coming from people who have no technical expertise, people like Bellingcat, who don't need technical expertise, they just need to parrot what they're told to parrot. And this is how it all works, and it is so simple. You know, when they were going on about North Korea, oh yeah, we got to get agreement with North Korea and all that. So whatever happened to that? Because North Korea is one of the target countries. And whenever Trump has possibly genuinely tried to get an agreement with North Korea, all the cabal around him has done everything they can to scupper it. And now they've had apparently some meetings of lower level officials between North Korea and the United States. And North Korea has blasted, quote, sickening negotiations with the US, denouncing their hostile policy after nuclear talks flop. Pyongyang has shed the light on the recent collapse of the working level talks with the US, accusing Washington of sticking to hostile policy against North Korea, inability to hold meaningful dialogue, and producing false statements. What, the United States government? False statements? What's he talking about? A scorching statement on the talks and their failure was released by the North Korea's foreign ministry. And the negotiations took place in Stockholm on Saturday, resulting in a failure as the North Korean delegation broke off, saying the talks have not fulfilled their expectations. Well, that's not surprising, because the idea is not to fulfill the expectations, because it's a target. North Korea is a target. Now, do I agree with the way North Korea is run? Absolutely not. Do I agree with how the US government, British government, so works? Absolutely not. It's not about taking sides. It's about looking dispassionately at what's going on. Because if you don't do that, then you're never going to get to the truth. Never. Because you'll ignore the truth when it doesn't suit your bias. And so the idea is to remove the regime in North Korea, ultimately, and put in a regime that is a puppet of the United States, Israel, etc. And of course, North Korea borders China. There's a very small border with Russia as well, actually, but its main border is with China, which is highly significant. That makes it a highly significant country from a cabal point of view.